All right, brilliant. So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, from wherever you are. Exciting day for me personally because it is the 1st of January, and from where I'm speaking, it is exactly 1 degrees. So that makes it even more exciting. That speaking on the first with 1 degree temperature. So a exciting moment for me, and passionately very exciting because I don't get to take part in this wonderful club activity because it's a working hour for me on a Friday, and I feel that guilt that I'm not able to give back to this fraternity. I just come in to speak at the time because I have to take in probably a half day or a 2 hour early from my boss, and that leave may be granted, may not be granted. So but today being a public holiday, um, I am very honored and obliged, and again two people to thank before I begin my proceedings of the day, which is again our beloved club president, Toastmaster Willie, and our VP Education, Alicia. So thank you both for entrusting me with this responsibility. I'm really honored, and I'm very happy to do this because I don't get to participate in a full club event because it becomes a working Friday every day, and I really crave to join the meeting. So thank you both for for spotting this early and giving me the slot. So this evening, again, as we would say, or this afternoon, will be special because it is the first, and we will ensure that we will make the best, because this becomes, as I would said in my WhatsApp message as well, this becomes a historic meeting because it is the first meeting on the first. So it's the first Toastmaster meeting on the first of the current year, which is 2021. So let's bring in the best of ourselves, best of our speakers, best of our table topic, best of our evaluation, and the best of all supporting roles from an R counter or from a language evaluator, whatever role each one's bringing you. So, like I am doing the best of the Toastmaster of the evening role, let's bring in the best of everything. So, with that, let me do a quick introduction of my team that will be supporting me today. But before that, I just want to check in with the club president, whether the club president address goes in first before I do my team introduction, or that would be later. Willie, any guidance?
You pass the ball to me.
All right. Okay. So with that, let me pass on the ball to our beloved club president, Toastmaster Willie Lowe.
There is one characteristic that separates the successful from the unsuccessful in every walks of life. That is teachability. Those who are teachable and remain so usually succeed. The unteachable usually fail. I have seen that in business, I have seen in the ministry, I have seen among students, I have seen in my children. No matter how much talents and gifting we have, if we are become unteachable, we will never reach anywhere near our full potential in our career, our calling, or our relationship. Think of the successful people you know. What is it that distinguishes them or is teachability? Is it? Think of all the people you know that never really make the most of the gift and opportunity God give them. Uncheatable, uncheatability is the common track, is it? There's one more, there's one, if there's one thing I want to teach my children and students, is teachability. When I speak to young people or students, I can usually tell quite quickly the ones who will do well in your life and calling. and those who were teachability makes the difference. Teachability gets people to the top, but if you lose teachability at the top, you won't be at the top for long. In contrast, teachability means you are aware of the limitation of your knowledge and ability. You admit limitation, inability, and ignorance to others who can teach and help. You regularly ask for help, instruction, guidance, and advice before the events, not after the disaster strike. You love for anyone and everyone you can. You listen to others carefully and patiently with a desire to learn for everyone. You prepare to move out of your comfort zone, try something different, make mistake, look stupid, answer Lori. You go give up when you fail at something, but seek help and you try again and again until you get it right. You really to change your views and practice when convincing evidence is presented to you, even if it means admitting you are wrong. That's another word for teachability. That is humility. Fellow Toastmaster, many of us who have do our speech project just to achieve the particular title. Did we really learn to be teachability or we just do it for the sake of speaking every week? So what about those world champion speaker, world champion or public speaker? What they do? They just practice. They they get evaluated as well as they learn for feedback. With feedback, they are able to improve. I understand many of you who would like to be world champion speaker one day would like would like to be the best. But have you learned for the feedback that you get it for your evaluator? So I hope that since this is the first meeting of 2021, I hope you can learn for the feedback that your evaluator given to you and you move off and you improve on your next speech instead of repeating your speeches again and again without any improvement. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Vidi. And I take that message, and again, I, I I simply agree to this thought and this philosophy, and that's been my one of my motivation as I've steered through. It is all about growing, understanding, learning from each other, and improving or adding that extra ingredient and extra salt and pepper in every speech. To make it different, make it better, and reach to a standard that one day all of us may be TED Talk speakers. So all camera screens out here one day would be delivering a TED Talk speech or would be delivering in the world international speech contest. So uh, I think great words of wisdom comes from experience again. So thank you very much. Moving on with the program. Uh, and when I was thinking of how do I introduce, I think the analogy that I have and which I always believe is, when it's a table topics, when it's a Toastmaster of the day or Toastmaster of the evening role, he or she is like the Formula One driver. I don't know how many of you follow Formula One, and those on Singapore, you must follow because it is one of the most fascinating night races that we have. But if you observe that, I the analogy I have is that the Toastmaster of the evening or the Toastmaster of the day is like a Formula One driver, while he or she is driving the car, and in this case, driving the team meeting. It is the team that supports. So someone is there on the radio, someone is guiding. There are people on the camera screens in terms of telling or guiding the driver when to put the brake, when to speed up, when to change the gear. And, it's the entire team that wins or goes on the podium. So, similarly, my role today is incomplete without my team. And of course, again, the team guided by the able sponsorship of the club president and the VPE, but again, ably supported by the AHA counter, the grammarian, the general evaluator, the timer, uh, who ensure that the Toastmaster of the evening is able to successfully complete today's meeting. So let me introduce my team who will be helping me with the evening. So I have Nariko who will be supporting me with the R counter. So Nariko, if you want to wave your hand in and quickly unmute and tell me what your, all of you, some of them might be new in terms of what's your role.
Okay, thank you, Hiren, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. My role of tonight is our counter. The role of the counter is to note any overused words or interjection during the meeting. Inappropriate words are probably and well, but so, and you know, and so on. And sounds maybe uh, 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 such sounds. I'll check them and note, then report at the end of the meeting. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. We will be in lookout. At least I will be committing a lot of times in terms of our ums, but I will now consciously make an effort of not to use them because you have a very sharp ear to hear them. So my clock is ticking, and I'll ensure that this is not repeated. The other person who's going to support all of us and support me is the most important role, which is the role of a timer, and it is today it is going to be performed by our very able VPE, Alicia, who will be playing the role of a timer. So, Alicia, if you can quickly come off mute and tell everyone what your role is and what your expectations are.
Thank you, Toastmaster today. As the timer, I'll be recording everyone's speeches, timing of the speeches in terms of table topics, be it table topics, speeches, and evaluation speeches. So I'll keep everyone in check by showing the screen behind me, and it will flash green, yellow, and red. And if then the speaker will have 30 seconds normally to wrap up their speeches, and our flash, once they hit the 30-second mark, our flash time is up. And generally keep the meeting in time. So back to you, table topic, Toastmaster today.
Thank you very much. We shall ensure that we stick to the time and we ensure that the red light is the least flashed. All right. So moving on, this is my team for today who will be supporting me. Uh, like any other Toastmaster meeting, we have three sections. The meeting is divided into three sections, and between three sections, these are these lovely stretched break, or these, as I would say, Zoom less time that we would give you. I don't call it a break, but I call it as a Zoom less time, where we would like you to go off screen, stretch a bit, just go off screen and just refresh, recharge. So these will be there to ensure that you have that nice Zoom-less time. But the meeting is divided into three specific sections. The first section is the table topics, so which is our impromptu speaking section, where you have a topic and then you speak for the desired time, which is generally 2 minutes. So that's the first section. The second section is the prepared speech section, where there are presenters who do the preparation, who know what topic they are speaking on. They do that prep generally between anytime between 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So they prepare in advance and they speak for the specific duration which their topic demands. And the third section is the evaluation section, which is where the prepared speeches or prepared speakers get that feedback from the experienced Toastmasters in terms of how they can do it better, and second, what they did well. So these are the three sections that that form a part of any Toastmaster meeting. And as I said, you will have your Zoom less time in between these sections for you to recharge, refresh, and come back afresh. So with that, let me invite a very seasoned, experienced Toastmaster, one of my favorites, one of a person who I look up to, uh, from his understanding of the subject, from the understanding of how it is to be spoken, and clarity of the language and communication. So without much further ado, let me invite the table topic master for this evening, that is Toastmaster Kanan. Kanan, over to you. Take it away.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Today's theme is teachability. For today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some phrases or some proverbs that teaches us valuable lesson. I'm going to share each person who volunteered to speak a slide that contains a sentence, a proverb, or a saying, and a picture. There is no right or wrong. You can talk anything about it. That is one good thing about the table topics. If you don't understand that picture, don't worry. You can talk what you shopped yesterday. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm going to ask the timer how the timing parameter work for the table topics. Madam Timer, can you please show them, our Toastmaster, how you will be showing the timing parameters?
Yes, sure. Table topic master. For table topic speeches, once the speaker is given 2.5 minutes to speak. Once the speaker reaches 1 minute, I'll flash the green screen behind me, and then the yellow screen at 1.5 minutes and the red screen at 2 minutes. And then the speaker will have 30 seconds to wrap up. Once it hit 30 seconds, I will show the time is up screen. So back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Now I'm going to share the screen, but first let me get who is going to be volunteering to be the first table topics master. Sorry, I think who's going to be the who is going to be the first one to try it out? Hello? I'm not able to see. Can you see my screen? Whoever is the first person who has volunteered can try this on. All that glitters is not gold. And then you can start speaking. Hello, who volunteered? No one? Hiran, you're on mute.
Now, in case anyone's not going, I will volunteer. I don't know whether I'm allowed and eligible, but I'll just go for it because it's the
Go
first.
for it. Go for it.
All right. So as Lovely put, all that glitters is not gold. Now that was the saying that was said. It's an age-old quotation. But today, being on the 1st of January 2021, I take this ownership of modifying that quote a bit and adding it to the quote. So I said, all that glitters is not gold, 3 dots. However, you can make it gold. So I modify that age-old quotation of all that glitters is not gold, add the 3 dots and add my bit saying that all that glitters is not gold, but it is you who can make it gold. And why do I say that is because, with what our president just mentioned in the Toastmasters address, that looking at your hard work, looking at your efforts, looking at how you would apply on anything that you would do with your patience, with your perseverance, with your hard work and effort, you can virtually turn anything into gold. So while the age old fable said that, all that glitters is not gold, I say that it's 2021, things have changed, we are in a different world, and it is upon you. So it is the onus. As I said, I'm not pointing the fingers to you, but as I point that fingers, three fingers point at me. And I say that all that glitters is not gold, but the three fingers pointing to me said that it is on my abilities, on my hard work, my dedication, my perseverance, that I can actually change to things and make it gold. And again, it's upon the individual to take the ownership. So again, if you just wonder at what is said from the quotation perspective and just stare it, it will not change into gold. You will have to put in the hard work, you will have to burn the midnight oil. uh, and to the classic example is that if you want those fantastic pathway titles, if you want to be your DTM, if you want to win international table topic contest and be an international speaker or a world renowned speaker, you have to start participating or taking speech roles or taking roles in Toastmasters Club, and not stand and stare. So all that is needed right now for you to do is to not stand and stare, but take action. And when you take action, you will turn that shining thing, which is not gold today, but you can make it gold through your hard work and effort. Back to you, Toastmaster of Table Topping Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiren. You are saying based on the mindset, you are able to convert whatever you want to achieve and make it to gold. That's a very good thinking. That also may work most of the time. Thank you for that. I am going to ask for the next volunteer who can talk. If you are not volunteering, I may force you. Let me ask whether the guest Beth, are you interested in trying out the table topics?
Yes, I will try.
Okay. I'm going to share it. It's going to come random. Okay. I'm going to share it. Okay. 1 minute. I'm going to pick it 1 minute. Okay. Just I will pick it at random so you can have. Okay. Can you see that? Things often happen when you least expect them to. Things often happen when you least expect them to.
Things do often happen when we don't expect it. An example of this, I am a writer. I enjoy describing, and I especially enjoy hearing people's stories. A year ago in January, I submitted an application for a group called Story Terrace. And this is a group where you interview people, and as a ghostwriter, you write their stories of their life. I did not hear back from them, and I assumed that they were not interested in me as a writer. 9 months went by, and out of the blue, I received an email that said, "We had some technical difficulties, and we are wondering if you are still interested in writing for Story Terrace." So 9 months after I had originally applied, they were returning my email and showing interest. I did apply, and I submitted my resume. I have a degree in journalism, and I have a lot of experience writing stories about people. And through Toastmasters, I was able to speak eloquently about why I would be an ideal candidate to be a writer for this company. And I did get this job, and I am now in the profile that they've reorganized everything on the site.
So I'm hoping that in 2021 that I'll have an opportunity to interview people about their life stories and describe it well so that people are engaged and they really would like to hear more about this person's story. Many times you have to wait for that unexpected thing to happen, but I am really excited to pursue this new opportunity in writing, and it was worth the wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Beth. I agree with you. Thinking positively that things will happen for the betterment is always good. You did very well. You shared the personal story. I liked it a lot. You did not drop the ball saying that, oh, I didn't get it. Thank you for that. Madam Timer, you are showing your hand. Can you explain?
Yes, sir. Table topic master having technical issues with my computer. I have to restart my computer, so I'm not able to time the next speaker onwards. I did time the first two speaker. So can I request someone to take over me, like Corey? Can you take over me for the timing?
Yeah, yes, sure.
Thank you so much. I have to restart. So sorry. Thank you.
All right. Corey, can you show us what you will be showing for green, yellow, and red
Okay,
so that
let
people
me,
can understand?
let
Do you have
me,
something?
yes, let me see. This one is yellow, this one is
Okay.
red, and this one is green.
Okay. 1 minute, half, and 2. You may be knowing. Okay. Who is going to be volunteering next? Okay. It is Joan. Okay. I'm going to share Joan 1 minute and it is going to be random. I'm just trying to see. All right. Take what someone says with a pinch of salt. Take what someone says with a pinch of salt. Joan D'Souza.
President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, take what someone you say with a pinch of salt. I take this positively, and I say take someone says with a pinch of positivity. The reason I'm trying to word this out is I want to share my life experience right now as I embark into another new adventure, starting a women's inspiration group so that we all learn together. And as I invite someone to speak in our club, she insists that, hello, we need to add, we need to add some more creativity here. I don't see so much of effort put in here. Let's do this. And, can we remodify this? And, with lots of opinions and with lots of her past experience. Now I can take it as as an initiator for this project. I can say, all right, this is getting too demanding for me. I cannot meet this expectation at all right now. But can I put it in a way and say, hey, this is actually for my own learning. I am going to learn how to do something different, which I've never done before, with the perspective of a person who is more experienced, rather than looking at it from a point that this person is trying to be too aggressive, too demanding on what I have done in the past, or what I have, I'm planning to do. Why don't I blend it with it and say, all right, can I add the two together, so that I have a stronger initiative, a better supporter, and I can also enlarge my initiatives. So my friends, it's how you take it, whether you take it as a pinch of salt or you take those words as a pinch of positivity. So we need to have that mindset as we move on to 2021. So let's just take it as a pinch of positivity and be a better person. Thank you. And back to you, TTM, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster John D'Souza. You are right. Whenever somebody tells us something, it is up to us what to take and what not to take. And we may take whatever they are saying in a positive way and try to improve ourselves. You nicely put it, those things, and you also shared why we need to do that for our own betterment. Thank you for that. Who is the next volunteer, please? Angela has shown her hand. Toastmaster Angela, I'm going to share the screen. 1 minute.
Alicia, should I continue or you want to take over?
Toastmaster Angela, give your man a fish and you will feed him for the day. Give your man a fish and you will feed him for the day. Toastmaster Angela.
Thank you so much, Kanan. This is a very well-known saying. It's been promoted by Oxfam, which is a charity giving money to people in developing countries. And it's been around for years. I think the Chinese lay claim to it, and so do many other groups. Very much true. One of the things people complain about is they give money to charity, and there's another saying, the poor are always with us. You never seem to solve the problem. You feed somebody and then the next day they come back still hungry. Whereas if, as the saying goes, if you taught them how to fish, they'd get out of the poverty trap, out of the hunger trap, and you would be helping them not just for one day, but for life. Not only that, you would be giving them a skill, and you would be making them feel proud and happy and confident and not scared that tomorrow they'll be in trouble yet again. And I think this is a practical idea about giving people skills, but it's also metaphorical in the sense that it's something we should always be aiming to do, to be teaching people skills, not necessarily teaching people to fish, but teaching them all kinds of skills. And this is very much what we do in Toastmasters. It's teaching, giving people the skills to speak so that they can go out and speak to other people. And there are hundreds of things you can think of, skills that you can teach people. I mean, for example, to cook. I was taught to cook in school in domestic science lessons. So, and now I'm trying to grow my own food. And I would say to you, apply it to other people, but also apply it to yourself. Learn to grow your own food and to cook your own food. Imagine you're somebody else and you're trying to help that person and help yourself. So, and then you'll be helping everybody. So I very much agree with this statement. Back to you, Kanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela. Yep, instead of giving them just one food for one day, if you teach them something, whatever is the skill set, they will be not dependent on anybody. They can be independent and they can be on their own. So the idea is to teach them some skills. It is not only fishing, it can be anything. And you nicely put it. Thank you, Toastmaster Angela. All right, who is going to be the next volunteer? Alicia, Toastmaster Alicia. I am going to share. 1 minute. Let me share what we have. 1 minute. I have a challenge in sharing here. Yes. Can you see that? Take no notice of the stupid things people say. Take no notice of the stupid things people say. Toastmaster Alicia.
A very good evening to club president, to fellow members and guests. I have this title, Take No Notice of the Stupid Things That People Say. Yes, every day people throw you things. In fact, today I had irritating people who threw me irritating nonsense and saying stupid things, which are actually the obvious. Maybe to them, it's not obvious. So I need to put myself into their shoes and think, why would they say stupid things? Probably, perhaps the IQ is not there. So can't blame them. They're being born like that, right? Secondly, they could be smart, but they could lack EQ. And so they keep doing all these silly things and saying stupid things to irritate the people around them, and they never learn. And finally, they could be a really idiot. No matter, there are some people out there who has IQ, EQ, and still constantly do it. Well, they could be suffering from some illness, for all we know. So my dear friends, for this year and for the years moving forward, we do need to exercise patience, understanding, and kindness to these people who constantly say nonsense things to irritate you. Before you get irritated, breathe, take in a deep breath, 10 counts, and then try to put yourself in their shoes. And finally, you can't take it anymore, walk away and do something that you enjoy, so you will not get irritated anymore. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alicia. That's a nice way of putting things. Have patience. Don't have to take whatever they are saying. You can just ignore them. Do not worry about the stupid things. If they are telling anything for the positive development, take it. If they are telling anything to irritate you, you don't have to take it. You can just move along. Nicely put it, Toastmaster Alicia. Thank you for that. Who is the next volunteer, please? And the timer, can you reset the timer when the Toastmaster starts? Because it is showing time up when the Toast speaker is also speaking. Who is the next volunteer, please?
I can go.
Or Toastmaster Thomas Chen. I'm going to take one thing, 1 minute. It is going to be random. Okay, let me share. 1 second. Know what side of your bread is buttered. Know what side of your bread is buttered. Toastmaster Thomas Chen.
Amazing day, ladies and gentlemen. Contrary to what Kanan has said, I feel that this topic is totally not random because he is talking about toast and we are at Toastmaster itself. But back to the topic of knowing which side is butter. What is the significance of butter? Well, to different people, it will have different significance. To someone like me who has been putting on weight, butter is something that I should avoid. So I need to know where the butter is, so I will eat the bread without butter. But to someone who loves the aromatic effect of the butter itself, who loves to enjoy that gooey, oily taste, then butter is something which appeals to them. So at the end of the day, different people will have different significance and appealness towards butter and what butter can bring to us. But something we should all know is we want to have that clarity of what any different things is to us. Be it butter, peanut butter, Toastmaster, leadership skills, whatsoever. We need to have that awareness and significance. So this topic itself is not really about butter or not really about toast, but it's to know the topic and to know that item. Is it something for us, beneficial for us, or is it something that is not beneficial for us? Only by having that clarity, only by having that clearness, we can use it to our advantage, right? So instead of having that butter toast, I can give it to someone who loves butter, because for me, if I eat that butter, I will add more calories and I will add more weight. But if it is something which appeals to me, hey, I can use it with a warm cup of milk, you know, nothing's more amazing than that. Butter toast with a warm cup of milk, delicious. But I can only achieve these amazing results by having that awareness of what butter truly means to me. And it applies in all the different areas of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself, what are all these different things mean to you? What does Kanan means to you? What does Corey means to you? Corey means times is up for me now, so I shall stop speaking. Thank you, and back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomason. It is really interesting to hear you. I understand it is what we want. It is not that whatever we get, we have to take it. We need to make sure whether that is useful, whether that is going to change our life, and accordingly, we can take it. If you give me so much of chocolates, even though I love it, I may not, it is not good for me to take it. Okay. So make informed and make the right decision. Thank you. You nicely put it, Thomas. Thank you for that. Who is going to be our next volunteer? Next question is also an interesting question. I just peeped it. That's all. We have only 6 people who are volunteered. So I'm going to ask somebody then. I am going to ask. Everybody's hiding, so I'm not sure whether they are there. So, Asmina, are you ready to take the challenge? Asmina, Toastmaster Asmina. Okay, she's not here. I'm not sure who are all here now. Let me check Toastmaster Patricia. Patricia, are you there? Are you ready to take the challenge?
I'll try.
All right, I'm going to show you one. You can try, it's a very easy one.
Give me a very easy one.
Yes, this is very easy.
Okay.
Like a chicken with its head cut off. Like a chicken with its head cut off.
Well, it is the 1st of January and I can't imagine myself catching a chicken with the heads off. Anyway, there's a Chinese saying that when a chicken is running around wildly, that means the chicken have no head. Meaning to say, this is a Chinese saying, meaning to say that if a chicken have no head, then the chicken can't think. And the chicken will be in a very confused manner, and that's why the chicken will be running all over the place. So I imagine if you say, I have a chicken and the head is cut off. If the chicken is alive, I will pity this chicken with the heads off, running around. It's just the 1st of January, and if he has, or he, I just say it's he. If he doesn't know what to do and very confused on the 1st day of January of the year, then I pity him that throughout the rest of the year, he is going to be very, very confused. So I hope that he will keep his head on no matter what. It is just the first day of the year. Have the head on, be calm, be peaceful, and think. And if you are very confused, then please do your meditation, do your yoga, and do whatever you can to keep your head on your shoulder. And this is just the first day. Don't worry what is going to happen. Whatever that is going to come, we'll just take it with with gusto, with bravery. Encourage yourself to, if the head is going to drop off, if it is even going to happen, hold on tight to your head so that you will be able to be calm to think of what you're going to plan for the next 365 days. This is just the first day of the year. Please don't get so confused that you get your head chopped off. Like a chicken that is running around with the head chopped off. I certainly hope that all of us will keep our head on our shoulder. Do some planning, but don't get too worried about what is going to come tomorrow. Tomorrow anything can happen. But if we hold on together, united, we will be able to go through, just like last year, we went through last year with a lot of difficulties. And this year, hopefully, it is going to be better. And if there's any challenges, just have to do what we have experienced last year and then use that experience and carry on over to this year. And hopefully, we will need not be so confused like last year. We will know exactly what we are going to do for this year. So I hope everybody will have your heads on the shoulder. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patricia. Running like a headless chicken means doing without any goals, without any plans. And you rightly put it, today is the first of the new year, January 1st, and we should have some goals to be achieved for this year. I'm going to tell you one thing. Even though I tried to put many resolutions, for example, my resolution was to go to the gym every day and to run in the treadmill or to walk for at least 1 hour. It works the first 2 weeks and then slowly it is stopping. I understand, but you nicely put it that you should have a purpose, you should have a goal. Thank you for that, Toastmaster Patricia. Now, Madam Timer, how much time I have more to run these table topics?
Now it's 10 p.m. Do we still have time, Alicia? Oh, I think you're
Alicia,
muted.
you are on mute.
Sorry, we can have one more last speaker, then we'll hit for break time.
All right, one more who is willing to take the plunge. Only one more, the last one. Okay, Toastmaster Corey, that's good, thank you. I'm going to share my screen, very easy one, this also.
Okay, I will time Corey, okay?
Yeah, Toastmaster Corey, when in Rome, do what Romans do. When in Rome, do what Romans do. Toastmaster Corey.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kenneth. Good day, everyone. As the saying goes, when you are in Rome, do what Romans do. For me, it's about adaptations. So wherever you are, you must respect the culture and also try to acknowledge what the situation is. If I were to link to my own experience, when I move from one company to another working experience, sometimes I might surprise in every company, the culture is different. Or even when I'm in Indonesia or I'm in Singapore, the culture is also different. To me, the unique one I could share maybe about birthday. So in Indonesia, we always celebrate birthday. So the person who is having the birthday is the person who treat everyone, who treat the friends, bring to the restaurant, and the birthday person is the one who set the bill, pay for the bill. But in Singapore, it's a bit slightly different. In Singapore, it's the friends who are treating the birthday person. So yeah, it's a quite of a funny and unique, I could say. I'm not sure in what the culture in other countries, but to me, yeah, it's something that quite unique experience. I still remember last time when I was still at school, not having earning yet. So in Indonesia, since you have to pay the bill for every year you are having birthday, so you need to save some pocket money to treat your friends on your birthday. But here, since your friend will be treating you, so I guess that your friend need to save money to treat you the birthday. Yeah, so yeah, it's a quite inspiring and quite unique experience for me. That's all for this topic. Back to you, Toastmaster Cannon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Corey. It is correct. You adaptation is very important. Wherever you are, wherever you move, wherever you mingle, you need to understand the culture and you need to adapt it. Very nicely put it, Toastmaster Corey. Thank you for that. I think that concludes the table topic session. I'm going to ask the timer to list the timing and the VPE to run the polls also to pick the best table topic speaker that you may feel appropriate.
Thank you, David Topic Master Kanan. The polls are up. So in case you want to vote, and as I always say, voting is your right, and also it's a great form of exercise because it exercises your finger. So if you want to burn the calories on the first, do vote.
Sorry, I think there is a few speakers that offer overtime. Can we adjust the polling?
Right. Unfortunately, cannot. Just don't vote for those
I
who
think
are
leave that for
overtime.
today. Today is a New Year day. No problem. For the first New Year day, we should not be talking them out. If they are winning, if they are speaking good, let us leave it and let them give a chance to get.
Yeah.
Completely
Otherwise,
agree.
their head will be they'll be like a chicken without a head, right? Okay.
Okay, sure.
Let the chicken fly today.
Yeah. New Year. Yeah, I am not able to see the poll, but I hope that somebody else taking the whoever is a winner. Thank you.
Yeah, no, the poll went off. It disappeared. I don't know why. Did everyone vote? Because I also am not. It flashed up and then it disappeared back. So
So as long as somebody remembers,
Okay.
as long as somebody remembers who is the best to speak.
We have relaunched the polls. Can you all vote again?
Okay.
yes.
Once the poll is over, I am going to yield back to the Toastmaster of the day to announce the 10 minutes break before we jump to the next session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Photo?
Elish, Angela, do you have anything to say? I see.
Yes, can we have a photo?
Is it now? Is it later? I have no clue what's the right time to have the photo. So just checking with the VP and the president. Is it now or is it later during this thought?
We can take later, but no worries. You can take now. Also can.
You
All
can
right.
take now and you can take later. 2 photos, no problem.
All right.
Photo taking is free anyway.
Exactly. It's all the age of digital. So everyone on camera, as I would say, is Thomas Chan there, Willie, Thomas Chan. Who else is off camera? So I see Thomas Chan who's off camera. Sanjoy is off camera, and I have Willie off camera. So 3 people. You will miss this amazing opportunity to shine on the first meeting. So
They will shine at the finish line.
yeah, perfect.
Okay, never
Elisha,
mind.
do you want to take the photograph or do you want me to?
Please, Toastmaster of the day, you take the photograph. Thank you.
Yes, I will too. Your wish is my command. And here we go. At the count of 3, 2, 1. All right. Let me do also one thing, because again, it is first I'm taking all the liberties. So let me do one thing. You can either look at your left or right. Let's do this funny one, and it will be for my record. So either you look at the right of the screen or the left of the screen. Okay, something different. So you either look very extreme left or extreme right. Okay, let's do it. Not in front of the camera. Something different, something, because it's the first, we can do all the liberties. Okay, so here we go. Either don't look at the camera, either look at your left shoulder or right shoulder. Okay, at the count of 3, 2, 1, here we go. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Well, you can see Corey is well trained in this.
Why?
All of us are like struggling, don't know where to position the deck.
Because I count there is a 4 grid. Then if I look here, that means I look at you.
Okay.
All right, so time for, as per my watch, it is 10 minutes past 10 o'clock. So should we have a 10-minute break? Okay. All right. So let's come back in 10 minutes. Can I have the presenter rights, Alicia? I have a clock
In case my thing is no good.
all right. Recording has resumed. So welcome after the Zoom-less break, as I would call it, in this beautiful virtual Toastmasters world. We don't call it a break. We don't call it a networking break, but we call it a Zoom-less break. So we move into the second section, which is the prepared speeches section. And I always love this section. One, because it brings in a lot of variety based on the vast Toastmaster and speaking experience. The second, and which is my personal favorite, is that it is a direct impact on the research, the amount of hard work that Toastmasters put in. And remember, this is not, the speeches are not created overnight. They come with time and a lot of thought that Toastmasters put in. So it becomes my personal favorite because it just clearly shows how dedicated and how hardworking our Toastmasters are to actually burn midnight oil, probably start thinking about speeches when they're traveling in an MRT, or while they are having a shower. Some of the times, some of the thoughts of speeches or what I would be speaking has come in when I'm just standing still beneath the shower. So again, a lot of hard work that goes in building or constructing a speech, as we would say. And that is the most enjoyable part of or my personal favorite when it comes to this prepared speech section. So we have three prepared speech lined up from today, and again, all of them from a very seasoned, as I would say, Toastmasters, who again have a wealth of speaking experience. And you'll see that when they come and speak for speaking as a part of their prepared speech segment. Now, we'll go one after the other in terms of calling them as per order. And before we begin let me also invite the first speaker and the first and her first evaluator. So again, women power here. So we have the first speaker, which is our very experienced Joanne D'Souza, who's talking about her dynamic leadership level 3 pathways on increasing knowledge and connecting with storytelling. But before Joanne takes in the spotlight, let me put in the spotlight on her evaluator, the very experienced DTM, Patricia Lim, to talk about the speech objectives. Patricia, over to you.
Thank you. The purpose of the project is just a one-liner. The purpose of this project is to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. Good luck.
All right, and before Joanne takes on, the time for Joanne's speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and that means that the green light comes in at 5 minutes, yellow card or yellow light at 6 minutes, and red light at 7 minutes. So with the pathways level 3 and a title very, very short, which is not enough. It's never not enough, Joanne D'Souza.
President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Have you watched the movie Last Dance? Raise your hands if you've seen that movie Last Dance. It's not a movie, actually, a documentary film. Okay. It talks about Michael Jordan, correct? He is a very, have you all of you heard about Michael Jordan? Raise your hand. Who? Michael Jordan. Okay, so yeah, who has not heard about Michael Jordan? We all have heard about Michael Jordan. He's a person who comes from, just to give a background to the others who have not heard about him, he's a person who comes from an impoverished family. His parents are working, and then they decided to put him in a place where he could play sports so that he can spend time when his parents were working. So keeping all this in mind, I and my daughter and my husband, we all decided to watch this documentary film because my daughter also likes to play basketball. So we thought, why not use this nice holiday time and spend this time inspiring ourselves? And in fact, it was not for ourselves, but it was for her, so that we can inspire her. At the same time, we can get some learning from this really ambitious parents and how they did it. And so it was like a mutually beneficial uh, interaction where we both, all of us, learned from that movie. So anyway, so just to so this is what the purpose was. So we all decided to sit and watch this documentary film, and we've been watching this documentary film almost every day religiously, like how we say our prayers, to an extent that I've also decided to take notes on how, what shoots he does. So he kind of does this, and how he puts his throw, and how he jumps in the air, and his the way he folds his leg, and all his moves are also recorded. And my daughter is also into it, and we keep watching. But to a point that we kind of start demanding from her, okay, now this is 4 o'clock, let's just go and start playing basketball. Take this book, all these notes are written here, let's just mimic the way he's playing. We did that for the first half of our first week of our holiday break. What happened the second week? Can anybody guess? We are still watching. It's not that we are watching, because the documentary film is going on. It has lots of songs, and it's very upbeat. So it's fun to watch for my daughter. But then what happens at 4 o'clock? Can you guess, anybody? She doesn't want to play basketball. Okay, no, I don't want to do now. I don't want to go now. Let's just go tomorrow. Let's just, let's do something else, this and that. Now, my friends, this is one. Second story again. My older daughter is a lot in debate. So when she started debate and all, okay, we took her for this debate classes, that debate classes, and all that as a parent, exposed her. Every night we would watch his presidential debate. Oh, he made this comment, that comment. And it became to a point that we were like, and she got inspired, and she's doing quite well. And now there is this Kamala Harris, who has won the vice presidency. We also have Indian origin like Kamala Harris, as well as we are naturalized citizens of United States. So I can just put myself into Kamala Harris' mom and say, all right, this is exactly what it is for my daughter. She has everything. She's a great eloquent speaker. She has an Indian origin, and she is a naturalized citizen of United States, just like Kamala Harris. So then what we do over the phone, we talk about Kamala Harris. Oh my gosh, you can, Andrea, I can just see myself. I can just see you in her. And, so again, it's the same story. Now, what happens after a week again? She's just not picking my phone up. She's like, all right, I'm not doing this, mom. Okay, let's talk about something else. I have to go for a shower. She's not staying with us. She's overseas. So whenever I call her, it is, no, let's just talk something else. Can you ask me about how was my day? Let's not just talk about anything about politics. Don't even ask me about my studies now. It has come. So this is the second story. The third story, again, I want to tell you. When I started this project, as I'm overseas and I want to keep myself engaged and I want to learn different things. I want to learn German. Because that's mandatory for me being in Switzerland. And I want to also be a very good speaker. I want to learn Mandarin because I used to live in Singapore. So with this, I started a very inspiring club of women so that we all learn from each other. So now we've started inviting speakers who are equally, just very inspirational. And this lady, we invited her the other day, and she said, okay, I can see your Facebook, but I don't see so many people participating, there's not much of effort, and so and so, and I can, can I give you these tips about it? And I said, yeah, that's great. Okay, so the next day I take this, okay, why don't you shorten this up? How can we make this Facebook more attractive? So all right, I'll take into consideration. The second day, why don't we call some more people up? Why don't we put this here? So this went on for a week. And now what happened after a week? I don't want to talk with this lady anymore. It is just too demanding. So my friend, the story from all this, my older daughter watching basketball, and we kind of putting so much of effort and talking, taking her out for basketball every day, doing the same thing. With my second daughter again about debate and how we are comparing her with, Kamala Harris. And then third, doing all this again about how we can improve our inspirational group. We come to a point that no more. We don't want this relationship anymore. So my friends, when we are doing as much as we can, is it enough in the view of those, who are actually putting their effort in, doing their best? Or is it not enough? Are we, when we are trying to demand from people, let's just watch out. What is more important here? Building relationship or pushing that person to a limit that they break relationship? So next time I would say, stay calm, prioritize. You can always achieve your motive, but build your boundaries so that we keep improving ourselves and build relationship in that way. Thank you so much. And back to you, Toastmasters of the day.
A big virtual applause for our first prepared speech. Remember, it takes a lot of effort. So again, great speech, Joanne. And again, taking your basketball example, basketball tells you to stretch to the basket. And I think what you shared with us was a living example in terms of your life story. Not just being satisfied to learn German, but learning Mandarin, learning German. That is nothing but the stretch to put the ball in the basket. So again, a wonderful living example of speaking what you preach rather than practicing what you preach. So wonderfully put. We now move on to the second speaker, and again a very seasoned speaker. And again, as I would say, this is a day of women power. So again, I have a women evaluator and a women speaker coming in. Joanne, I would ask you to switch your virtual hat. So from a speaker, you now need to drop in the speaking hat and wear your evaluation hat. So if you can get into the spotlight and introduce the second speaker and the speech objectives, please.
So this is for Angela's speech. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice the skills needed to effectively communicate change to a group or organization. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice speaking about change. So Angela, this is for you. And I guess it is again for 5 to 7 minutes.
All right, so I will, before I pass on the mic to Angela, I think the speech title is How Can You Benefit from Pathways and Help Others? If I have got uh, the title as correct, then the title reads How You Can Benefit from Pathways and Help Others. Angela, your time is 5 to 7 minutes. It's part of your level 4 or project 10. I am confused on that, but the timing still remains 5 to 7 minutes. Pass on to you, Angela.
Thank you. I'm going to I need to share screen to show my slides. Okay, I can do it without. Can you all hear me? Can you wave your hands if you can hear me? I just need to get the timer up. Who is the timer?
Alicia.
Ah, hello. Right, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, pathways. Are you all in pathways? Put your hands up if you're in pathways. Put your hands up if you're not in pathways, or you know someone who's not in pathways. If you go onto the statistics in Toastmasters, you will find that there are large numbers of people who are in level 1 of pathways. I have here, I've just printed off what you can see on screen, and I'm going to analyze it with my husband, who's a statistician. But the thing which strikes me is that huge numbers of people are on level 1, half of those are on level 2, and then hardly anybody is on levels 3 and levels 4. But we've been going for a long time on pathways. Now, after the end of one of our Singapore online meetings, I asked people who were present, of whom there were just 4 of us, did any of the other 3 know how to load up their evaluation forms into pathways, and could they tell me how to do it? And I had 3 very experienced people, and none of them knew how to do it. So I phoned around all the people I knew who were experts in pathways to find out how to do it. And I wrote to Alicia and I said, we need an educational to tell people how to do this. We need it in Singapore Online, which is full of experienced people, and we need it in all the other clubs, because when I went back to my club in London, again, full of experienced people, and I said, I want to register my pathways. The VPE was in a total muddle as to what to do. Now, when you register your pathway, there are several things you have to do. You no longer complete a section before going on to the next section. However, in order to register your last section and be recognized as a level 5 speaker, you have to get Toastmasters International to register you as having done all the others. Now, it's quite complicated. I wrote out a whole sample of what to do. First of all, you do an assessment. Do you know how to write a speech, and so on and so forth? Then you give your 3 speeches on level 1 and your evaluation, actually 4 speeches, and then you fill in the assessment again. Then, only then, can you get yourself registered within pathways to say that you have done it. But Toastmasters International over in America doesn't know. All that's happened is you've registered it with your own pathway on your own computer. You then have to tell them that your VPE, your Vice President of Education, has to acknowledge what you've done and forward it to them. Now, are you muddled? Some of you are looking quite puzzled. It has taken me weeks to work out how to do this. Willie went through the whole thing with me and registered my presentation mastery all the way from levels 1 to 5. And if at any stage you've forgotten to do the assessment, either the beginning assessment or the end assessment in any of your 5 paths, the whole thing jams up and won't get registered and can't be sent to Toastmasters International. So we went right back to the beginning and we clicked on everything all the way through. Now, it is all a matter of clicking on everything and trying everything. And there are videos that tell you how to do all this. It just takes time to do it. When you found out how to do it, I recommend you write up your own notes and possibly print them out and pin them up on a pin board. When you know how to do all of this, become a mentor and teach someone else in your club how to do it. In theory, every member of the committee should know how to do it. Every evaluator should know how to do it, and every speaker should know how to do it. I still haven't loaded up all my evaluations from all my speeches, and I'm now on my 4th path. And I think there are several other people who are still on path 1 who don't know what to do. If you're planning to be on your committee or to be a mentor, take time to learn how to do this, because it will be valuable to you and your mentee will be so grateful to you, and so will all the members of your club, because this is one of the things which holds people back. And when you look at what happens, you can see from the figures online that only half the people who've done level 1 have completed level 2. Level 2 is pretty easy. It's just 3 speeches. In fact, there are only 3 projects, no more than 3 at each level, until you get to level 4, when you have to do podcasts or blogs, and they are quite long. But there are also little tricks that you can do. For example, one of the projects is better listening. All you have to do is do table topics, which your club wants you to do. So you don't have to give a speech, you just do table topics, and you listen at the end of each table topic and give some feedback to the table topic speaker and say, oh yes, that was a very interesting table topic, blah, 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 blah. I like the way you did X, blah, blah, blah. Now we go on to the next table topic. At the end of that, which has taken you, it's taken you time to research your table topics, but after you've done all that, you have just ticked off one of your projects. Now, if you go through pathways, you will know all these little tricks. Now, I can't tell you how thrilled you are when you suddenly get the hang of all this. What I'm going to suggest when I'm planning to be a president of a club again next year, and I'm going to try to get everybody in my club to buddy up with somebody else, and so that you will have a mentor who's a more experienced person and somebody else who's at your level, whatever level that is, so that you can sit and go through it all together and make sure that you evaluate each other, load up your evaluation into the system and know how everything works. And then when you get to the end of your 5th project, whee, you have got presentation mastery, or whichever project you're in. If you have any questions, please contact me, because I think this is important and I think it's useful. And it will benefit you and it will benefit everybody else in your club. And when you visit other clubs and you do evaluations there, you can help them. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Angela. A virtual round of applause for Angela's speech. I think it spoke about the experience. So thank you, Angela. Even for me, I am in my pathway 4, and all of this has been a guiding light. So like you asked for, I will definitely reach out to you, because you've walked the path, and using a very English and a very British accent from where I belong, that you've walked the path of the woods, so I will just follow. Keep dropping those breadcrumbs, and I'll just pick it up as Alice did in the Wonderland. So this is the Pathways Wonderland, and happy to pick up the breadcrumbs so that we don't get lost in the way. I'm learning the British lingo, so slowly and step by step. All right, moving on. Yet from a very dynamic 4 ladies, or the woman power, as I've called, we now move the focus to the men power, and we have 2 amazing gentlemen coming in. Uh, One with the evaluation and other giving in the speech. So can I ask the very dynamic, a very Facebook Live Thomas Chan to bring in the evaluation and the speech objectives of the very experienced speaker that he's going to evaluate. Thomas Chan, over to you.
Thank you, Hiran, for your kind words. I feel that we are all dynamic because the club name is Dynamic Speakers, right? All right, so the purpose statement for Kanan's project, the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. And that's why it's 18 to 22 minutes. All the best.
All right, so here we have yet another experienced speaker. And what a perfect day to hear his longer speech. And as they say, and as the title of his speech goes, it's positive thinking, and positive thinking cannot be learned in 7 minutes. So here we have the very experienced Karan Shankara talking about positive thinking in the next 18 to 22 minutes. So here's your dose of getting positive thinking in 22 minutes from Kanan. Kanan, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guest. What is positive thinking? What do you think about it? Can anyone say, what do you think about positive thinking? Anyone? You can just unmute and tell.
Thinking they are not negative.
Being optimistic.
Okay.
Despite my head going to drop off, I still think that plastic surgery can help sew back my head.
Yeah, close. Okay, today, let us go with an example. Today, our guest from District 26, Toastmaster Beth, told she waited 8 months when the editor or the story, the company, after 8 months, they said, come on, we need you. She was waiting patiently about that. Let us first say what is positive thinking. Positive thinking, or an optimistic attitude, as she put it rightly, is the practice that we focus on the good in any given situation. It will give a great impact on our physical and mental health. That does not mean that we ignore the reality or make light of the problem. This is a mental and emotional attitude that creates optimistic and positive thought and expects positive results. People with positive thinking mentally look at the brighter side of the life and anticipate happiness, health, and success. Today is a newer day, so we all be positive. We think that everything will be good. We are confident that we can overcome any obstacle and difficulties that we may face in the future, or we may face anytime. It is not a concept that everyone believes. Some of the people think that it is a nonsense, and some people think this is great. But majority of the people nowadays, the number is growing that who accept that the power of the positive thinking is good and it is really effective. Let us say about the negative thinking. What is happening to the negative thinking? Why Kanan, you always talk about the positive? What about the negative? Think that a person is getting upset or angry or in a fighting mood. That person cannot think anything. He's screaming, he's about talking, he's not about thinking about anything. Even if you talk to him, he's not in listening mode. He doesn't go to the brain because he is in an angry mood. That is a negative impact of the negativeness. I'm going to give an example or give a story. Things are equal. Two people. Let us say that a company, let us say there is a company in Singapore who is taking a salesman position. They want a graduate. We have a person, Robert, who is always positive, who is another person, Jim. Both are graduate, both are applied for that Singapore company, a multinational company, great company, paying good salary. So they want to get that job. Robert was thinking, I need to get this job done. He was very prepared. He thinks about that. He talks about the company. He thinks about the company. He is going there with a little bit of preparation. But the first question stumped him. Robert, we think that we are not going to give you this product sales, but we want to give you a different product salesman position because we could not get this position. It got scrapped. So we want to do a new position. Are you willing to take this, but the salary remains the same? Your benefits and your compensations are going to be the same. Immediately, Robert is no problem, prepared about that product. I can do whatever. It is going to be a big challenge because I did not know about the product, but I am willing to learn. You teach me, I am ready to learn. And he brings a lot of positivity and say that I am ready for the challenge. So the company thinks, okay, this guy is an impressive guy. He's ready to take anything. This is a new situation, but he's very adaptable. As another lady said today about the adaptability. So the company is okay. Now talk about the other guy, Jim, who is a bit nervous, but thinking about, I should get this job. I am a graduate, I should get this job. A bit nervous, okay? He attends. The same question is posed. Oh, this position is scrapped. We due to unforeseen circumstances, but the same salary, same position, but we are going to give you a new product. Are you ready to take the challenge? What? New product? I don't know about the new product. What will I do? I am a person who always sell in this line. I am experienced in selling this line. That's what I thought of coming to this company for. I did not know about the new product. In these two scenarios, things are equal. Fellow Toastmasters, think who will get the job. Robert, who is very positive, who is willing to learn, who is ready to take any challenges. Jim, a person who is nervous, who is experienced in selling the one type of product. He's not a novice, he's an experienced, but he's not ready to take the other because he was nervous. He's having a negativity. Fellow Toastmasters, this is what the positive think helps you. When you are thinking positive, you are ready for challenges. You think, okay, let us face it. What is going to be the problem? We are ready for the challenge. Let us face it. I'm going to tell a story about the rock beller. People say it is real. Maybe the name is not changed. When rock beller started, the senior rock beller started the thing in United States, first one, it gives some profit. Then suddenly, some of the ships sank. There was a disaster. Everything he did went for a loss, and he was out of the business. Then he once again worked very hard for another 5 to 6 years. He earned everything, whatever he lost, but 2 times or 3 times. The people, the reporters asked him, how you were penniless? How did you achieve 4 times that what you lost 6 years ago? Rockbeller said, I know I lost it, but I did not tell my mind that I am a failure. My mind was thinking that still I am a successful person. So fellow Toastmasters, I want to think about here. The mind is the thing which controls you. The thought is controlling you. It tells you what you can do and what you cannot do. How many of you read Secrets by Rhonda Byrne? Have you heard of Rhonda Byrne? Secrets. That is one of the great book about positive thinking. Thank you, Toastmaster Hiran. Yes, that is one of the great book. What she says is also, you can believe, if you are mythological person, if you believe in mythology, the Catholics says there are angels, okay? There are angels in the sky who always say, so be it, so be it. So whenever you are thinking, I am going to be good, I am going to be positive, I am going to be the DTM, they are saying from the sky, so be it, so be it. So always if you think positive, they are blessing you to get those things if you're a Catholic. If you are a person in a Hinduism says that if you think good, always good thing will happen. I talked about the mythology. Now coming to Rhonda Byrne, in Secrets, what she says, your mind is like a tower. When you generate the positive thoughts, when you generate positive thinking, it goes and creates positive vibrations near you, and you return positive things. This is a scientific evidence. She says, don't even use your word not. She says, you think like this, I want to achieve DTM. You do not say, I do not want to stuck up in the traffic. I do not want to be late. She says that, say the other way, I want to be punctual. I want to beat the traffic, like that. Because even the negation may be against you. So she says, think only positive words. She asked us, never, no, all these negative words, remove it from your thought process. Absolutely. That's what Rhonda Byrne says in The Secrets. Fellow Toastmasters, you know me, I'm going to tell stories because I read many books. I am going to tell a story from Zen Buddhism. Zen Buddhism, I might have shared this story, I'm not sure, but Zen Buddhism. There was one sage who goes to the beach every day in the morning. He goes and meditate. He goes and meditate very religiously. When he meditates in front of the sea, the birds are coming and sitting on his head, on his shoulders, and everything, it plays with him, but he concentrate and do the meditation. One day, one boy said, so many birds are playing with you. Can you catch one bird for me? Because I don't want to kill it. I want to make that bird as a pet for me. So can you please help me? This saint said, okay, this little boy is asking for a pet. Let us catch one bird and give it to him. Fellow Toastmasters, on that day, not even a single bird came near him. Because the moment the thought that he is going to catch the bird, I'm going to be ready to catch the bird, that signals the bird that there is something wrong with this. The aurora, the thing, that thought itself made the birds to stay away from the Zen Buddhist leader. So that is the power of the thought. That's what they're saying. If you're thinking how some of the people, how some of the leaders, political leaders, has a charisma to attract many people, because their thought process, when they generate, when they speak, they create positive energy, positive vibrations again in you. So you feel, if your favorite speaker is speaking, you feel, that is a great speaker. So for the Toastmasters, I want to say, you have to be thinking positively. You may ask, okay, tell me what are the benefits? You are thinking, Kannan, what are the benefits of the positive thinking? Fellow Toastmasters, it has been proven that it has a very good effect on our mental health, because it makes us more confident, more happy, and less worried about unexpected situation. Like the Robert case, when you are twisted with a new thing, when you are put on a new situation, you are still ready to meet the thing. This positive thinking reduces stress and anxiety. It makes us friendly, considerate. When a person who is friendly is there, you feel that, oh, you are good with that, so you are also happy. And with avoiding the negative talk and going with the positive thing, people started liking you. So that is a step for your success. Since you expect everything is positive, everything is going good, you can go up in the ladder faster. That is always good. Those are some of the benefits of the positive thinking. Now, how to get the positive thinking? Kannan, you have been talking for the last 15 minutes about the power of positive thinking. But how to do that? People may ask. One thing is meditation. People say that by controlling our mind, it is easy to achieve. But fellow Toastmasters, I am not a good person to talk about that, because whenever I think of meditation, my mind wavers everywhere. I am not able to control it. I am not able to make it focus. But if you practice, that is a great thing. I'm trying to do that again and again, and still I am not successful. I want to be very honest with you. The second way to think about positive thinking is read many books and articles about positive thinking. Rhonda Byrne's Secret is a very good start. And mingle with friends who are always positive. So their positive words always help us. If you are mingling with the negative people, you may feel that, oh, I may have problem. So don't do that. So be mingling with all those type of people, and write. You can write a lot, and then that also will help you. Reading good books will help you. Meditation will help you. Yogas will help you. These are the things that people suggest for positive thinking. I think recently they have taken out a survey about the impact of positive thinking. I think this is, I forgot the university name. I'm trying to recollect when I was speaking. I could not get the university name. They asked about the impact of the positive thinking. They made it as a two groups. Okay. They made it as a two group. One group, they gave the exercise of all the good things. They gave the exercise of some memory game, some news about what has happened today, etc. And for something, they talked about the fire accident. They talked about the coup that they had in the politics, etc. After that, after giving a 10 minutes break, they asked them to think about and write something what they liked it on that day. The people who were thinking about the positive things came up with many good ideas and good thinking and good what you can call good suggestions, whereas the people in the people who went through the negative news, okay, they did not do anything wrong, the negative news impacted them so much they are not able to think anything positively, they are not able to remember any good things at that point of time when they are put on the spot. So in this thing, what I want to say is, by following the positive thinking method, it is going to help us. It is going to improve our life thing. It is going to improve. It is going to create success, and it is going to give friends. It is going to be a challenge to meditate, as I mentioned to you. I'm still trying, but fellow Toastmasters, let us try. Everything is difficult. Pathways was difficult to start with, but we overcome it. We can overcome anything at any time by thinking positively. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster. Toastmaster of the day, Hiran.
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster has gone for a company meeting, right? So I'm here to stand in for him. Let me first report on the timings. Well done, Toastmaster Kanan, for finishing your speech. The following speakers' timings I have written in the chat group. The first speaker, Joan, spoke in 7 minutes, 30 seconds, just on the dot. The next speaker, Angela, spoke for 9 minutes and 8 seconds. And the last speaker, Toastmaster Kanan, spoke for 19 minutes and 44 seconds. Well done, everyone. Unfortunately, we have one speaker that spoke over time, so she's disqualified. Is President here? President, since today is January 1st, first day of 2021, are we going to have an assumption so that the person will not feel like the head is being chopped almost off the body?
Sorry, we have to exercise. We need to teach ability that time is very critical. Over back to you.
All right, no worries. If you feel your head is being on the chopping board, no worries. There's always plastic surgery to mend it, right?
But Angela is not a chicken. Angela is a cat today. So she got 9 lives.
Oh yeah, so she doesn't have to worry. Good thinking. Right. Now that we have come to the end of the second segment, and since President has overruled me, there's no voting, unfortunately. But it's a good thing as well. We all need to learn to speak on time because it's a very important element. And so I'd like to let everybody have another 10-minute break so that the evaluators have time to prepare the evaluation speeches. Looking at the time, it's now 11:11 p.m. Let's get back in 10 minutes time at 11:21 Singapore time, or wherever you are, another 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to the third and final segment of our Toastmaster meeting of the first Toastmaster meeting of the year, where we have the evaluators presenting their evaluation speech for all the wonderful speeches we heard earlier on. Let us first have the first evaluator, DTM Patricia Lam, to present her evaluation for the first speaker, Toastmaster Joan. Over to you, DTM Patricia Lam.
Thank you. And who is the timer?
I'm also the timer. Just give me a minute. Huh? Don't start yet because I need to switch over.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Right. Over to you, Toastmaster Patricia.
Thank you. Good evening and Happy New Year to everyone, especially to Joan. We tell ourselves stories in order to live. And that is a quote by same name with you, Joan Didio. That is a quotation. And living, we certainly did with your stories. From them, we get a glimpse of how exciting your life has been. You gave us 3 stories with your personal experience, which is best because personal experience are very warm towards the other person. And then you engage your audience with questions. The first story was about your daughter, how you wanted her to become a basketball player, if I'm not wrong. The second one is also about your daughter, how you wanted her to be in the debate team. And the third story, of course, is about yourself. So it's all centered around your family. These are some challenges which you may want to consider. At the beginning, I wasn't sure of the message of the stories. I thought you were going to tell me a story about Michael Jordan, but the story was actually about your daughters and yourself. So you may want to reconsider to arrange the structure a little bit. For example, you may want to say, are we building relationship or are we being too pushy? With this, you establish the message from the beginning and prepare us mentally for what is to come. Perhaps you could use your closing question for a start. And your question was, you wouldn't believe what I went on to try getting my daughter to do basketball. And you could add that on, all to nothing. How frustrating. So that established us how frustrating, and this is the story it's going to be. Also, do include changing voices to match personality of the various characters in the story to add interest. Now, storytelling is a very interesting way of telling, giving us a message or giving us a morale that you wanted us to learn. So perhaps you could narrow the scope of your stories. Instead of 3, you may want to cut it down to 2 and then go more in depth into what happened, how you feel, how your daughter feel about it. And then from what you feel and how your daughter feel, tell us what you want us to learn from them. And then perhaps you also want to tell us and say that this is something that I have gone on for a long time, or it's not just about a few months, but I've been going on for a long time trying to get her to do things like that, but it wasn't working. So am I doing the right thing? And that's where your message come in. Are we trying to build relationship, or are we trying to be pushy? So you end it all up and wrap it up in a very complete way. Thank you for your stories and sharing your experience with us. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Patricia Lam, for sharing a very detailed evaluation for Toastmaster Joan. And next up, we do have Joan, who is switching her hat from a speaker to an evaluator, and she will be evaluating Toastmaster Angela's speech. So without much ado, let's welcome Toastmaster Joan. Over to you, Joan.
President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Can we give a big round of applause to Angela? She is a very engaging and very dynamic speaker. I just always love listening to Angela. The fluency that she speaks, the structure of her speech, the content, and the message that she gives people is always inspiring. Today, her topic was about change, how well she can communicate change. And I must commend her for that she has done very well in that area. So I would like to divide the evaluation in two parts again. One is her excellency and her excellent points, and the second is what I can convey to her to do well. That is my recommendations to her. So what did Angela excel in? She excelled basically in three areas today. She excelled in keeping us engaged, very dynamic speaker. She was the way she was putting in her energy, the way she was changing her vocal variety I felt it was, I had to always listen to her. I couldn't, none of us could take our ears off from the speech. Second, she identified this change. She knew how what she needed to do in order to implement it. And she also communicated it very well by adding personal experiences. She identified the change that we really need this Toastmasters pathways is a bit confusing and many people find it challenging. We need to convey it to new members, how to do these proper pathways. Even I found it very challenging in the beginning. For example, there are 3 levels here, then there is an assessment. You have to go through the level 1, complete that level 1 exactly with 3 projects and with an assessment, and then you have to go to level 2, and then there are a couple more projects there to do, and then you proceed. And you have to keep up doing that because it's, that is how you have to complete the pathway. So, and how we can implement it too. I mean, she showed us, exactly what she went through it. She also shared her own personal experience that she went through all that doing it with Mr. Willie. Secondly, she also told us about how she wants to do it, right? She is also working in with, and if she next year when she's going to be the president of the club, this is exactly what she's going to do, have a buddy system so that even the new members don't feel frustrated, like, how the others have been through, and they learn the exact pathway in order to do it. So she did. So my point of commendation, what she can do well is, first of all, I would like her to help her to tell how this will have value to us besides just resume. It also helps us to build our personality, increasing positivity, increasing all this will also reflect in us doing very well. So finally, you have, that is my only recommendation to you as to how it will really help us besides Toastmasters. So this is what I would like to convey to her. My time is up, so I would like to give it to Alicia about it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Angela, again for a wonderful, engaging speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster John, for providing such a detailed evaluation for Toastmaster Angela. Finally, we have come to the final evaluator, which is none other than Toastmaster Thomas Chen. He will be evaluating Toastmaster Kanan's speech. So let us invite and give us a round of applause for the final evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Chen, Thomas Chen.
Amazing day, ladies and gentlemen, especially to Kanan. Today, Kanan has impacted and inspired us with the message of having a positive mindset. And to start off, I shall share what made his speech so awesome and awe-inspiring. Firstly, he was filled with optimism and positivity, right? He spoke in a resounding and refreshing voice. He was very energetic, very enthusiastic, and all of these are signs of a positive personality. And hence, his personality is a strong complement to the topic which he is sharing about. If he were to put on a gloom and doom attitude when he's delivering a speech, the feed will not be very strong and we will not be very assured and affirmed by what he shared. Secondly, he gave a wealth of insights and information on positive mindset itself. What is a positive mindset? What's the difference between a positive and negative mindset? Stories and examples of these different mindsets and how we can adopt the positive mindset. So with so many multi-dimensional details, it really widened and deepened our understanding of having the positive mindset. And for that, I truly appreciate it, Kanan. And finally, it was a very applicable and relatable topic because we know 2020 is full of negativity with all the destructions, with the virus, with everything that's going on. So this topic is indeed very apt for all of us to have a strong start of the year, a refreshing and amazing start to this year, and adopting this positive mindset so that we can carry on with this year with vigor and vibrance. It's what timing is it, Adia? Very fast. And some recommendations. Kanan, engage the audience, elevate it further through asking more questions and address our names and activities. So in summary, Kanan, amazing optimism, wealth of information and insights, and applicable topic. Do engage the audience more, share your personal stories, and I'm sure you will be an amazing speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen, for giving us such an excellent evaluation. Pardon me because I'm wearing two hats now, Toastmaster of the Day and Timer. Well, anything can go wrong will go wrong, but we still have to keep our heads up, right? So this was my Timer's report for the three evaluators. The first evaluator, Toastmaster Patricia Lam, spoke for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. The second speaker, Joanne D'Souza, spoke for 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And the final and last speaker, Thomas Chen, he spoke for 3 minutes 20 seconds. So well done to all our evaluators, but unfortunately, we have one evaluator that spoke over time. So we were, in accordance to our Toastmasters tradition, there will be no voting because there's one disqualified speaker. But nevertheless, well done. So the next up, I would like to invite our R counter, which is headed by, where's the R counter? Noriko, Toastmaster Noriko. Let's invite Toastmaster Noriko to report on her, to provide us with her R counter report. Over to you, Noriko.
Thank you, Alicia. Okay, I report today's result of as an R counter. First, Hiren. Is he there? No? Oh, okay. Anyway, 10 times of R's and 5 times an and 10 times, And John, you say 12 times of S and 7 times an and 10 times And okay, Patricia, you said 5 times of so, and Cory, 6 times of R. That's all. Back to Toastmaster. Alicia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noriko, for sharing us all the ahs and ums that all the speakers and participants, guests have spoken. Thank you for such a detailed report. So hopefully everybody knows what is their favorite ums and ahs or rather the R's, so that they can make their speeches more fruitful. Now, before I hand over to the president, let's have some feedback on our first meeting for 2021. May I have some feedback from our guest, Toastmaster Beth?
Yes, I appreciate the opportunity to be part of your group today. I appreciate the very insightful speeches and also the very thorough evaluations of things that they did well and tips to improve. Thank you very much for including me in your group.
You are most welcome, Toastmaster Beth. How about our very own members? How do you find the first meeting of the year so we can improve for the rest of the year? Don't worry, whatever you say, my head won't be detached from my shoulder, so it's okay. Joan?
I can just comment. I don't think so. I don't have anything to say negative much, because I feel it went off very well. And I really like the point that President Willie said, that we have to keep up with our time. And this is actually a big lesson, that the way, like, some of our evaluations, and everyone unfortunately suffered because just one evaluator did not. It was me actually who went overtime. So it's a team spirit, and we all have to learn how to maintain that team spirit. Just because of one person, everyone should not suffer. So it shows that how time is valuable. We need to prepare a thorough evaluation, whether even if you are doing a speech, or try to make sure that you keep your time when you're practicing. Sometimes we just practice speeches and all, and after a point we come or evaluation, and like me today, and we forget to time ourselves when we are preparing our evaluation in our mind, or if we are preparing, like vocally we are preparing. So I think it's important to keep that spirit, that time, sense of time, which is really important. It will also help us in other areas of life, that we need to stick to our time, because time is so precious. So I really like the way that our President Willie decided that, okay, so everyone learns from this lesson that we have to stick to time so well. Yeah. So it's a good learning for me, especially that to time myself when I'm doing my speeches, and to time myself when I'm doing my evaluation, even when I'm preparing for evaluation and speeches. Now, next time it's good remembrance.
All right, Joan. Thank you for your feedback. Don't kill yourself with your self-criticism. One tip I could give you is that when you watch the timer, now that Zoom has multiple pins, you can pin yourself as speaker, and you can pin the timer beside you. So you're speaking as well as the timer is beside you, and it's very clear. And another tip that can help all speakers here to keep on track is that once you see the color goes to yellow, you need to mentally tell yourself that you need to start to wrap up your speech, right? If you're not prepared, just mentally tell yourself, oh, you need to prepare to wrap up. But I know today the timer screen is a bit, today the timer is off cue a bit. You cannot hear me?
No, I just wanted to add that,
yes.
Joan, actually you save time. You know why? Because no voting, right? Save time. So in the end, you still help us to save time.
So nice of you. Okay. Any more feedback before I hand over to club president? Yes, Angela, please unmute yourself.
I think the Toastmasters need to have the practice of timing themselves also, because this will help. Because pinning the timer, some people may not pin it properly, but having a secondary timing device is good always. Because it is not good when you are speaking in a contest, I am not able to see the timer. That is not a good excuse because you are going to lose the contest, whatever may be the thing. Okay. So try to practice that with your secondary device. You will be clear on that. That is the way you can practice.
Right. So the moral of the story is to have a backup. You need always to have a backup, which is your own device, right? Okay, Angela, you have something to say?
Yes, two things. Number one, it would be helpful if we did a meeting like a contest and you asked each speaker to pin the timer and told them who the timer was and asked if they'd done it. And that would be beneficial to the other two speakers so they don't get deprived of the votes. The other is I'm often trying to record with my phone, therefore I can't also use it as a timer. So I was researching online to see if I could get a sound timer. And there are 5-minute timers, but it's a bit difficult. So if anybody knows of anything, let me know.
Okay, that's a good idea. But normally we don't do the style like a contest, but that is a good feedback to think about it. All right. So since I see our Toastmaster of the Day is back, let me hand over back to our Toastmaster of the Day. I was gathering feedback from meeting. So you might like to have a nice message for all of us since today is the first day of 2021. Back to
Yes,
you.
thank you. Thank you very much, Alicia, for holding the fort. I had to go in for the mandatory police briefing that is there. So they come with the, because we are in a very sensitive COVID zone and they are coming and bringing a briefing to the family. So I had to go and I went. It was uninformed last minute because we just got a text saying that the council is coming in. So I had to just rush off for 15-20 minutes. But yes, as I've always said, and I'll wrap up, that it's an honor for me to present back to the club because I often don't get a chance because it becomes a working Friday every week. So I look for opportunities, and I always enjoy, the Singapore Online Toastmasters or Dynamic Toastmasters Club meeting because there's so much energy and more importantly, so much to learn. So it is always a pleasure, and it always brings me back to connecting to nice 33 degrees of the Singapore warm sun. So which is what we miss currently sitting, and Johan would also agree, currently sitting at just 3 degrees where you all are happily enjoying in 33 degrees. So it is that that difference of 30 that I enjoy and brings me back to this club. So but thank you very much. It's always a pleasure and an honor, and of course a lot of learning. So with that, I sign off and I pass on to the club president for his closing remarks.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Teachability is not much about competence and mental capacity as it's about attitude. It's a desire to listen, learn, and apply. It is the hunger to discover and grow. It is the willingness to learn, unlearn, and relearn. I guess everyone of us have heard this message. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. I quote a message for legendary basketball coach John Wooden. It's not what you learn after you know, it's all that counts. So, fellow Toastmaster, many of us have been on Zoom for the last 15 months. For some of you, it's only close to 10 months. Many of you who are still new to Zoom have problems with a lot of functionality of Zoom, especially timer. I go see what there's many question raised, but I can see that many people have already learned to have the ability to teach ability to learn on Zoom. the function. For members who are yet to complete the teachability of Zoom, YouTube is your source of sign up for a free Zoom account so that you can learn the Zoom function. Because in Toastmaster, we are all virtual. I mean, in this kind of meeting, we are virtual. So you have to learn the virtual aspect. And because over time, cannot see the timer is not an excuse in any capital meeting. I mean, whether is it a physical club, it's you who must time yourself to speak within the time. If not, you will go over time and you will not be the best speaker, even you want to aim for the world champion. It's a wonderful meeting of the year. We hope this meeting we can have more people, more clubs, and once again, happy 2021. And most of you hope that you all will soon go back to physical. I think not possible yet. We have to wait for more years. Okay, over back to you, Toastmaster of the day. I don't know who, Alicia.
Thank you very much. With this, we officially close in the meeting and time for the unofficial chit chat to begin.